Stop chasing low paying clients who don't respect your time, your value, or your expertise. They don't understand the long term value of the high quality content you provide. You feel like you're working your ass off, but what ends up happening is you're attracting the wrong clients. You're getting the wrong inbound leads on LinkedIn or your website or wherever you're getting inbound leads. And you don't really understand the process of really getting the right clients. You don't understand where these high paying clients are. You don't understand how they seek you out, why they pay top dollar, why you're in burnout doing this stuff. I'm going to walk you through that. I'm Mandy Ellis, and I built a six-figure freelance writing business, and now I help other writers build five-figure months and work with dream clients without the overwhelm, stress, or of course, burnout. And I want to make sure we're going through a few really important things. So number one here, you may be feeling like there's a lot of scarcity right now. This is a very common question that I get from other people, from writers emailing me, is they're afraid that AI is taking their clients, or they're taking whatever work comes their way, or they don't understand how to get more high paying clients because they keep seeing these posts on LinkedIn, or they keep seeing this thing and how is everybody making money. This is the thing. It's you need to kind of understand that your job is not to pay attention to what everybody else is doing. Your job is to create a system to go out to find these high paying clients and to attract them through the copy on your LinkedIn and your website. And I think the really good piece here is two different pieces. So there's two different pieces. One, I want to talk to you about my student Alexa. So Alexa took my course Freelance Writer Wealth Lab, and she was dealing with a lot of this. Like, she had a rough year of these underpaying clients. She really felt off track in her business. She felt like her mindset was kind of trampled by all of these boundary pushing clients who, like, had scope creep and all that. She was struggling to fill that marketing pipeline or her new client pipeline. And she kind of, really was looking for that tried and true system to put in place. And after she kind of put the Wealth Lab, she put Freelance Writer Wealth Lab in place, she saw her monthly income rise by 75%. So this is something where when you have a validated system, you understand how to talk to those clients, where they're coming from, where you can find them, how to reach out. It really ends up being this kind of, like she described it, a breath of fresh air in the oversaturated freelance writing market. So she felt like the approaches that I'm teaching in the Wealth Lab are down to earth, they're funny, but they're also knowledgeable. And just the experience of being in the Wealth Lab was really supportive. This is something when you're changing from kind of these low paying clients, or you're losing a lot of money, or you're wondering why high paying clients aren't reaching out to you. This is kind of that shift that we're making, right? We're shifting over here. It's the support you're getting as you make the shift along with the roadmap. The other piece here that I think is important is a question I got from Karina. And Karina says, how do you filter clients? So this is important. How do you filter clients when any client feels good to you, since you're not really earning that much money from freelance writing, or you don't understand how to go after high paying clients? Where are they? So for example, she says, when she's looking at a potential client's LinkedIn, what are you actually looking for? Like, what are the markers that you're looking for? And can you walk us through how you're going to reach out to this certain client? And sure, that's what we're going to talk about. So number two here, how are we getting them to reach out, right? So how are we doing this? This is the copy. This is what I call the tuning fork technique that I teach to my Freelance Writer Wealth Lab students. It's specific phrases. It's the things your clients repeat to you. It's exactly how your clients think about the content and their marketing efforts and their copywriting. And if you're working for magazines, their editorial content, and connecting those things. So when you start feeling like any client feels good to you, that's an issue, right? This is kind of the problem, is we get in this scarcity. We feel like there's no clients, so we just start taking stuff. But what we're looking for are these markers, right? We're looking for clients that have certain revenue ranges. And if you want those, you can grab them in my free pricing guide. So if you go to mandyellis.com/pricing guide, you can grab the recommended revenue ranges that I have for ideal clients, so that they have a budget to pay writers. But you're kind of looking for revenue, but you're also looking for clients that are consistently creating content. They already understand the value of content by consistently creating it on their website or LinkedIn or any place where you kind of see them kind of putting a lot of effort in. Now, it may be inconsistent effort, but they're doing it. So when you're looking at their website, you see them publishing content, you see different types of content, you can kind of see the inner workings of it. But when you're looking at their LinkedIn, you're looking for like, what types of content are they sharing? Where are they going? Are they going to conferences? Are they sharing thought leadership? Do they have different kinds of products? What is that? Then if we get more granular, looking on the LinkedIn page, we're looking for specific people, right? We're looking for specific people to reach out to who will have these projects. So instead of losing money all the time, where you're like, oh my gosh, where are these clients? You have to reach out to them and you have to identify them. So your job is to reach out to the content marketing manager or the content manager, whatever these titles are. If one doesn't exist, use the next one up the ladder. So the bottom of the ladder is content manager or content marketing manager. Then the next one is like marketing manager. The next one is VP of marketing or director of marketing. The next one up is the CMO, the chief marketing officer. If none of those people exist, go to the CEO and send them your LOI, your letter of introduction. Now, if you're going to magazines, every magazine has a different kind of hierarchical structure. So you'll need to make sure that you look at the masthead and see what's what, but you're not sending it to the editor in chief. It's usually like the manager or the editor of a certain section. It could be an associate editor, but we have to look at the masthead for that. But when we're looking at these things, we're looking for different pieces along the way. So we have the piece of the revenue, we have the piece of what niche they're in, we have the piece of what content they're creating consistently, we have the piece of their title, and then we have the piece of sending out the template of our LOI or the format of our pitch. That is designed to get results and responses. Each one of those things are things I go into in depth into Freelance Writer Wealth Lab, which is opening in April. I am going to have a free masterclass too. So if you want to be the first person to hear about that, make sure you grab that free pricing guide that I mentioned, mandyellis.com/pricing guide. So when we're looking through these things, we're filtering by a bunch of different stuff, and being able to filter this gets us away from this kind of like there's no clients to really starting to see how many high paying clients are out there. There are thousands and thousands of high paying clients out there for you to reach out to. So we're kind of moving into that piece. Now, our next piece, which I think is number three, our next piece, number three, is that we're going to have more of these premium or high end or top tier clients reach out to us. We don't want to be desperate. This is something that I talk about all the time in LinkedIn and websites. I've reviewed thousands of LinkedIn profiles and websites from writers, and it's always like book a free call or a free consultation or 24 or 48 hour turnaround, or they're literally speaking to the clients that they don't want, the ones who will ditch them and not pay their invoice, the ones who ask them for a discount, the ones who expect them to give them special treatment even when they're paying them like $1. So these things I think are really important to understand, that you are using language that is speaking to a lower tier of client. You need to be using this language that talks about like, who are you writing for and what projects do you do and how do you help and what specific skills are you bringing to the table. The more you can talk about those things, the better your inbound leads are, because you're speaking already into the same kind of into the same language that your high paying clients are using. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see, is like, writers don't understand that your job is to solve the problem with content. Your job is not to just create content. That's the mistake. The creating content leads you to low paying clients who are like, yes, create more content. You don't want that. You want exact content for a specific audience delivered at a specific time, right? That's how we get really good results with our content. We are using high quality content. We're creating this research back or interview backed, or we're creating content that audience, our client's audience, really wants in order to help them achieve goals, right? So we're not there just to be like, oh yes, I'll help you create content. No, you're there to drive results. That's the whole point of content. I don't care if you're writing for editorial or you're writing for a fun project or whatever, you're all driving results, right? It doesn't matter which kind of content you are. It's all driving results. And there's different results, whether you're writing for a business client or a magazine, or even if you're writing books or poetry, or, fun kinds of content, there's still results of that thing. They're still tracking metrics. There's still certain skills that you're bringing to the table. And I think a lot of writers, what ends up happening is you don't trust that you have the skills to do that. this is something I work with my Wealth Lab students, my Freelance Writer Wealth Lab students with all the time. They come to me and they are really scared about either niching down or doing a certain type of client, or that they don't have the skills, or they're not good enough, or kind of like I said with my student Alexa, they're burned out. They've been at this for 10 years and they're stuck. They feel like clients are walking all over them. They feel like they struggle with boundaries. They end up with scope creep, or they end up in this kind of like shame spiral about all the mistakes they've made. I'm not here to beat you up. I'm here to help you actually see the kind of writer you are, the magical pony. I always call it sparkle pony, but your magical sparkle pony that you're bringing to your clients. That to me is like the biggest, most important thing that we're bringing out of you, is helping you understand not just where these high paying clients are and how to talk to them, and the filtering process I teach in Freelance Writer Wealth Lab, but you really shining as the writer star you are, really understanding that you're not just writing, you're not just good at research, you're good at these three other things. You're not just good at creating content quickly, you're good at these three other things. And I think that is something that helps you set yourself apart immediately. Your ideal client will find your LinkedIn and your website, or they'll see your samples and they'll be like, "Yep, this is this is the writer for me." And it's not it's really about understanding that, digging deep. It's you're raising your income because you are connecting with these high paying clients through the things that you are specifically good at, that you keep ignoring, the things that you keep leaving behind, being like, everybody does that and everybody knows that. No, they don't. No, they don't. There are lots of things I'm good at. Being fast is not one of them. I am not a fast writer. I never have been. There's lots of skills I have. I'm really good at research. I'm really good at granularity. I'm really good at details. I'm really good at quotes. I really struggle sometimes with big picture. I get lost in the weeds. I really struggle sometimes with visualizing some flows of things. So like if I'm doing an email sequence or a sales campaign, sometimes I have to make myself like a physical map, like a map of it to get it. There's things I'm really good at and things I'm not so good at. But what I'm highlighting is attracting these right clients. And I'm layering on top of that the things, right, that language, that tuning fork language that high paying clients really care about. So when we're kind of putting these things together, we are filtering things out. We are creating not only a filtering process forward to find the high paying clients, but we are allowing at each step for our poor client, like poor paying clients, right? They don't pay on time, they don't pay your invoice, or they want to pay you a penny to do something. We are allowing them to select out at each stage. That's the beauty, is it kind of works in forward and reverse, right? So the forward part is moving you towards these high paying clients, highlighting your skills, highlighting your attributes, really helping you understand what does a high paying client look like, while also using that as the way to filter out all of these poor leads or these bad fit clients from your system. So it works kind of two ways when we're kind of putting these things together. So last thing I kind of want to mention here, when we're kind of looking at our current marketing, or we're looking at how we're putting our clients together, there are certain shifts in the market that happen, right? So there are things where I will tell my students like, hey, I'm kind of noticing this in my business, or I'm noticing that, or when I'm sending an LOI, this happens. This is the kind of intel that I think really helps from working with someone who's still a writer in the industry, who's still working with clients and kind of seeing the shifts. And plus I'm a nerd and I'm always like asking my students like, what's going on and how are your rates and like what's going on. I think this is something that really helps because I can see it interact in my business. Our freelance writing businesses are living little beings. I call them little terrariums. They're little like business ecosystems that we are maintaining. And I talk about feeding the marketing Tamagotchi, right? You have to kind of keep it fed. You got to pay attention to it. So these things kind of work together, right? They're pieces that work together, but you have that pulse on it. We have a pulse on the what is your business doing, or what is the market doing. Like the market will tell you. The market will tell you if you are talking to high paying clients and you are working with them, you can start seeing shifts quicker than everybody else, and then you can start making changes. This is something where people who are working, like doing a lot of job ads or getting on boards or not sending enough marketing, not sending enough LOIs and pitches, they're missing that intel. And I teach my students how to do that. So we're really getting this deeper level of intel to make shifts in our business when things change in the market, or when we decide we want to go to a new niche, or we want to move to a new type of project. or we decide we want to get away from like those boundary pushing, scope creep, crappy clients. So I think these things are what we're getting away from reinventing the wheel. We're getting away from spinning our wheels, and we're really driving ourselves towards a sustainable, profitable system. This system helps you scale without making you work a lot more hours, and I feel like it also helps for you to kind of see how all of the pieces work together, so that now you kind of see the big picture of like, oh, it's not just where are the high paying clients, it's actually these three other things, and they all work together. So those little pieces, I think that actual blueprint, the step-by-step piece in the Freelance Writer Wealth Lab is really helping you build a better foundation of your business knowledge. And the stronger, the more concrete foundation we can make for your business, the further we get away from losing money or having unpaid invoices or working for bad fit clients, or really kind of like sinking our own ship. I'm teaching you how to build a strong ship that survives the storm, right? It's kind of that like um that skillful sailor quote where like a smooth sea never made for a skillful sailor. It's kind of like that. We're kind of really kind of building that boat to survive the ups and downs that happen in your business, and to kind of even them out, to make them less extreme, right? So we're putting all the pieces in place to do that. And I think, yeah, the last little, no, that was the last little piece. Okay, so if you feel like this has been helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you want to let me know like things that are messed up in your business, or the time you lost money, or what you think about next steps with like how do you actually get to high paying clients, give me a comment. Like, do you feel like yes, you have you have been like stuck in this kind of cycle of low paying clients? Do you feel like you've kind of been a boundary, like you've been people pleasing? Let me know in the comments. The next video that we're going to do is going to be going over not the more clients. This is another misconception. A lot of people think you need more clients or you need more stuff all the time. You don't. You need the right 3 to 5 clients. So we're really going to go through what that is and how that looks like in your business, whether you want to just make an extra few bucks or you want to build a 6-figure business. We're going to go over that. So I hope that this has been helpful, and I will see you in the next one.